everybody. Hope you're having a good week. I think I am gonna have a good week. It's Monday, I think. It's hard when you work nights. I never know what day it is, what night it is. So I'm working like I work tonight, right? So come like 2:30 in the morning when I'm at my lunch and I'm bullshitting with all my coworkers outside, they'll say stuff like, "Today this is gonna happen." And to me, today doesn't happen until I fall asleep and wake up again. I know scientifically today is after midnight. So they'll be talking about Tuesday, I'm thinking they're talking about Monday, I get all confused. It just happens. Today I'm going to be making a homemade meat sauce. When I say homemade, it's going to be a little different than what you're used to from me. Because it's not going to be 100% homemade. It's actually using pre-made stuff. And this is to show you that not everything you make has to always be like the hardest. If you hear noises like that, like the banging and stuff, we're having like 60-mile-per-hour winds here in Jersey today. It's fucking crazy. But what the hell, right? Let's make some sauce. And eventually what I'm going to do with this sauce is I'm going to make a bake with sausage and meatball in my cast iron skillet. I'm going to put in the oven, top it with a shit ton of mozzarella cheese, and bake it until the cheese is bubbly and gooey and brown on top and delicious. And this way you can eat it without pasta or with pasta. Either way, it'll be still amazing. So let's do this. So I'm going to be making a meat sauce. Now, I know I like to put off this vibe that I'm like this amazing cook, right? I have this ego of a monster, but I'm not. Everybody has things they can't make. Everybody has things they suck at, right? And you gotta make sure that you acknowledge that. You can't keep on making things that you're not good at. You can keep trying, and I will. And one of the things that I sadly really stink at is meatballs. And I love meatballs. I mean, it's balls made of meat. How could that be bad, right? They're delicious. But I can never, ever get the texture that I like right in a meatball. Now, when I like a meatball, I like my meatball to be pretty homogeneous, meaning that when I cut through it, it doesn't all break apart. It's very stiff and rigid. It's bound together really well. I've tried to use an egg. I've tried to use stale bread and milk is another option. I've tried using breadcrumbs. I've tried using Parmesan cheese. I can't get that texture right. And I'm going to keep trying, but in the meantime, I'm going to be using pre-made meatballs. Now, these pre-made meatballs are actually kind of semi-homemade. They're made by my work. Most food stores make their own meatballs, and my work actually makes some pretty good ones. And I actually know the girls who work in the Appy department and know the ones that make them. So I know what they do and I know what they put into them, and they're really good at it. So sometimes that's life, right? You gotta. I know when I used to manage a team, when I was managing a marketing team, you have to be able to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And you can't be too egotistical to admit that you have strengths and weaknesses, because everybody does. And the key to putting together a good team is being able to rely on other people to make up for your weaknesses and not be so into yourself saying, I don't have any weaknesses. This goes back into the last thing I was saying, where you got to be able to learn from everybody, right? So that's my philosophy. Now what I'm going to do, though, is I got a pan heating up here. I got it on medium-high. And to make this a meat sauce, I'm going to take 2 of these. Hell, I'm going to take 3 of these meatballs. And we're just going to break them up into the bottom of the pan. We're going to brown the meat. And then I'm going to take my sausage. And again, I didn't make this sausage. Sausage making is not something that I've ever done before. Eventually I would like to, just at least try it once to see how it is. It always seems like it's a little too much trouble for what it's worth. But maybe not. Maybe it'd be nice to be able to put your own flavors into a sausage. But I'm going to take one of these Italian sweet sausages and get going. So we got the pan here. We're just going to break up this meatball. And, ooh, listen to that sizzle. And we're going to throw it into the pan here. Yeah, I think 3 of these will be perfect. And what this is also going to do, now these meatballs are made with 80-20 ground beef. I usually, when I make mine badly, I usually use a mixture of 80-20 with a little bit of veal and a little bit of pork. That's why I'm going to be adding the sausage in as well. But what this is also going to be doing by browning the meat first is add a nice level of fat to the pan for the sauteing of the veggies that we're going to put into our sauce. Because you want to always, you don't want to put raw veggies into a sauce, because there's a difference in flavor between, especially ones that have like a high sugar content, like onions and bell peppers, and even mushrooms to a degree. There's a difference in the flavor once you develop it, once it cooks in a fat of some sort. That is so much better than the raw flavor. Now, I like raw onions on like things like sandwiches, obviously. I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of aversion to onions. I'm not one of them. I really like onion. I like anything in that bulbous vegetable, bulbous vegetable family, like onions, shallots, garlic. They all basically the same family of veggie. So I got the one sausage. What I just did there is I just took my knife, I sliced open the casing that's on the sausage, and I removed the meat, because when you're making a meat sauce, you don't really want casing on it. And again, you're just going to break it up a little, and you're going to put this right into here. And then your fingers get all messy and yucky. But again, you can't be afraid to touch your food. Play with your food. When you were a kid, were you afraid to touch dirt? No. So why are you afraid to touch your food? Don't be afraid to get dirty. So while this is browning, we're going to take our spatula. And we're just going to quickly stir it around a little. Get that going. Now, the other benefit of using a broken up sausage and broken up pre-made meatballs is that they also have some seasoning in them. If I know my Appy department correctly, it has a little bit of basil, a little bit of oregano, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of breadcrumb, and that's the same with the sauces. The sausage has a little bit of fennel, a little bit of just plain old Italian seasoning, which is oregano and basil, stuff like that. Of course, we're going to add more later, but this gives it a good base to start with. So we got that going. So the first veggie that we're going to add after this gets all brown and good is an onion. You don't want to use too much onion, because an onion can actually overpower your sauce. So hopefully, if you're watching this, you realize that a nice homemade sauce is like an hour away. And an hour seems like a long time, but it's not really. You can stop buying those garbage sauces. Trust me, in the food store I work in, the two most popular aisles, the two most aisles that always need the most work at night, is the condiment and soup aisle, and the pasta aisle, the pasta and pasta sauce aisle. Because people like easy. And what's easy is jarred sauce. Cheap jarred sauce is a waste of your money if you're just using that. You'll see I'm actually going to be using some cheap jarred sauce, and I'll explain in a little bit. And the expensive stuff, just because it has Rao's name on it. Now, Rao's is an amazing restaurant in Harlem. Amazing! Don't buy their jarred sauce. Michael's of Brooklyn? Why? Because it says Brooklyn on it? You're going to charge $8 a jar? Fuck you. Make it yourself. All you need is a can of tomatoes. And you're good. And then you add whatever you want to it. So, what I'm doing is a quick, rough chop on a large Spanish onion. And this will be the first veggie to go down. And then I'm going to add about 3 cloves of garlic to this. Meat is browning nicely. I'm getting a nice little fat layer on the bottom. I'm going to augment that with a little bit, I think, of avocado oil because I've ran out of my olive oil, unfortunately. Avocado oil is kind of neutral, so it's not going to affect the taste very much. Okay, we're going to give that another, I don't know, 2 minutes. We're going to take the garlic. We're going to do our little smash and play of the garlic here. So we got 1, we got 2, and we got 3 cloves. Now, I think I talked about this on another video. But garlic is one of those strange herbs that how you chop it affects how it tastes. If you chop it, if you leave it whole, it's going to be very, very mild. That is for the people who don't really like the garlic taste. Those are the people that I don't really call friends. Because garlic is awesome. Wow, the peel came off of that one pretty easy. I didn't even have to smash it. And that one too. Nice. The finer you chop garlic, the spicier it gets. I don't know how many of you like Goodfellas. Goodfellas is one of my top 5 favorite movies. Lebowski being my number 1. But there's a scene in there about them slicing the garlic with a razor blade so thin so that it disintegrates into the pan, which works, but it's a lot of work. So, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to smash my garlic, take my aggression out on my garlic. You put it together, and then you just give it a rough chop over the smashing, and then you got some nice diced garlic. Let's give this one more stir, and then we're going to take this meat out of the pan. Oh, it smells great. It smells wonderful. I'm going to use this bowl. So we're going to take this out. We're going to try not to remove too much of the fat from the pan. Because like I said, we're going to use that fat and the flavoring from that fat to cook our veggies down. So do you make your own sauce? I try my best always to. The reason I have this jarred sauce around is because my daughter is very, 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 very picky. And she's going through a daddy is gross stage. So anything that I touch, unless I wanted to cook with gloves on, she wouldn't want to touch it. And she likes sweet sauce because she doesn't eat pasta. She's not a pasta eater at all. What she uses the sauce for is we make our own homemade pizzas. And that's pretty much all she eats with sauce on it. So she likes a sweeter sauce because pizza sauce is a little bit more sweet, and most of the jarred sauces are sweeter. They have a little bit of a sugar element to them. I want to turn the heat up on this pan a little bit. It's not hot enough for me. So we're going to throw this onion in, and we're going to a little bit of stutter there. Let this get a little sizzly and translucent, as they say. This bake takes about 2 minutes, so it's not too bad. After that, we're going to add the garlic. Now, the reason we do that in that order is because the onion is going to release a little liquid. And while garlic is delicious, burnt garlic is bitter and gross. So by adding it after the liquid of the onion is released, it helps prevent a little bit. It still gets browned, but it helps prevent it from burning. Another veggie that I'm adding is green bell pepper, which again I'm just going to do a nice rough chop on. And the last veggie will be some mushrooms, because I love me some mushrooms. I think it adds a nice little meaty texture, a meaty taste, and a nice woodsy taste, depending on the mushroom you use. I got a little bit of cremini, which are baby portobello mushrooms. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but the onions are becoming slightly translucent. They smell getting what they call fragrant, obviously. I mean, that obviously means you can smell them cooking. Because when you first chop onions, yeah, you get the smell, but you don't get like that nice cook. I'm going to add the 3 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to wait for the garlic to become fragrant. And then I'm going to add the green peppers. And what this is doing is it's layering flavors. I don't like one-note food. I like food to have flavor. I like it to have layers of flavor. I like to be able to taste a bite of onion and then taste a bite of green pepper. Okay, so cremini mushrooms, or baby bellas as they're called. They have the same basic woodsy, meaty taste of a portobello. They're just smaller. And they're a little bit more tender. This is a baby bella, or a cremini mushroom. And we're just going to chop that up. And we're going to give it rough chops, because we don't want the food, because like I said, it's going to cook for an hour. So you got to remember, when things cook for that long, things that are delicate like veggies are going to disintegrate a little bit. So you still want to be able to take a bite and say, oh yeah, there's mushrooms in there, and not just get it from the taste. Now, stems on mushrooms can be tough. So one thing I love about portobellos and creminis is you just take it, and I'm not practicing proper knife safety, am I? Is you just take it, then with a little flick, stem gone. Okay, my garlic is becoming very fragrant here. So let me give this a stir. I have the heat up a little bit too high. And it needs a little bit more oil. So I did a spray of the avocado oil. I'm going to get another spatula because that one fell on the ground. So let me use this one. And then with that, I am going to add my green pepper and give that a couple minutes, just to add to the flavor. And while that's going, I am going to continue chopping my mushrooms. Now, if it has just a little stem on it, that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. This is going to be a very chunky sauce. Okay, so let's talk about tomatoes a little bit. The tomatoes I normally like to buy are San Marzano tomatoes. They're a specialty tomato. They're a heritage tomato that is truly only supposed to come from one section of Italy. They have the seeds here. You can grow them yourself here. They have a lower sugar content. Maybe it's higher. Scientifically, I don't know. All I know is that they taste amazing in sauce. and they're made specifically for sauce. I went to Trader Joe's. The problem with San Marzanos is that they're expensive as hell because they're from this little area. So I just bought these regular. Now, it said plum tomatoes. I thought it was going to be whole plum tomatoes. Unfortunately, it seems that they're crushed tomatoes, which is fine. I like the whole plums normally because I can take them out with my hands and then I hand crush them over the veggies. But whatever. We do what we do, right? We do what we gotta do. So now, after that's been cooking, I'm going to add my mushrooms. Mushrooms don't need long. That's a whole one, so I'm going to chop that up a little. Then I'm going to add some spices to here. We are going to add... What are you? I don't need chives. What are you? Parsley. Here we go. We're going to make it a little bit spicy with some crushed red pepper flake. Now, what you want to do is you want to take it into your hand, and you want to take it and you want to crush it in your hand a little bit, and that gets a little bit of the essential oils. You don't want too much because then it'll be too spicy. We're going to do a little bit of that. We're going to do a little bit of oregano if we can find the oregano. If not, that's okay. You use what you got. I usually do have oregano though, so it kind of weirds me out that I don't see any oregano. I guess I don't. Weird. Oh wait, there it is. Where are you? Oh no, you're cream of tartar. No, I don't need cream of tartar. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my basil that I grow and use some fresh basil in here. Basil is an amazing herb to grow on your own. Just take a couple leaves. We're going to chiffonade that. We're going to add that actually with the sauce because we don't really want that to brown. So let's stir this up a little bit. We got those flavors going. We're going to take a little bit of salt because the tomatoes I got are unsalted. I like to buy everything I get unsalted. This way it is, it's up to me on my salt content and how much salt I add to things. Because I don't need no company telling me what type of salt I want. And a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. And that's it. So now we're going to add back our meat with all the juices that came out of the meat. Because meat juice is amazing. Jiggity. And then from there, we're going to give that a minute to all come together. So what I'm going to do later, not in this video, is I'm going to take my remaining 6 meatballs or remaining 4 sausages, put them in my cast iron skillet, bake them for like 15 minutes just to get them brown and halfway done. I'm going to put my sauce on top of them and then cover it in cheese in like a 450 degree oven and let the cheese get all melty and delicious. And then I might serve it on top of a little bit of linguine because I still eat carbs. Oh my god, it's carbs. Thought this was a diet thing. Yeah, I do, because I like them. They're delicious. I just eat less of them. We've talked about this. It's no big deal. So, this is all melded together nicely. We're going to take our, oh, it said it right there, crushed. Ha! Now I know. I'm going to take my crushed tomatoes and we're going to add those in. Now here's the key. When you're buying sauce in the store, in a jar, you want to look for the ones that have as few ingredients as possible because hopefully if you're doing this you're going to be starting making your own sauce and you're going to stop relying on this bullshit. But sometimes you need a little bit of this because the tomatoes I just added are very, 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 very thick. So this is going to help thin it out a little bit. But I just added all of my own stuff in here. Do I want to muck it up with some sauce that says it's like sausage and parm and everything? No, because I'll add that myself. I know the flavors that I like. I'm not going to rely on Ragu or Prego, and one of those is just Campbell's soup made into thing. Marketing fact, Campbell's either was Prego or Ragu, I forget which. And they originally marketed themselves as Campbell's. Campbell's tomato sauce. Nobody fucking bought it because they thought tomato soup, which it really just is. Thicker, just a little bit more flavor, but that's all it is. So they changed their name to an Italian-sounding name, Ragu, which means sauce, or Prego, which means nothing. It's just a fucking name that has a letter on the end, so it sounds Italian. And people start buying it. Psychology of the consumer. It's fucking amazing. It's why I love marketing. So I'm going to thin this out a little bit with a little bit of this Colonia, another Italian-sounding name that means nothing, sauce. Now this sauce is basically just tomatoes, basil, a little bit of sugar. And that's why I'm not adding my own sugar, because that's in there. There we go. That's the perfect consistency. And now we got a nice thick sauce. Now, we're going to cook this for about an hour. And what that'll do is that will break down all of those fresh tomatoes in that can of tomatoes that I put in. And give it a nice chunky but smooth consistency. And it will also add all the flavors of that onions and garlic and pepper and mushrooms and everything like that. We're going to take our basil now. We're going to do a quick, I'm going to use a chefy term, chiffonade of my basil. Now chiffonade just means thinly sliced. So when you hear a chef like using those pompous fucking words, no, it means nothing. Just like, you ever see on a menu remoulade? It's just mayonnaise mixed with shit. I use it because it sounds fucking fancy, but whatever. Yep, so some chiffonaded ribbons of basil, thinly sliced pieces of basil. And we're going to bring this up to a bubble, and I'm going to cover it, lower it down to like a medium-low heat, and let it simmer for about an hour and a half. And that's our tomato sauce. See how easy that was? So please, 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 give it a try at some point. I hope you do. Because making your family sauce, or making even just yourself sauce, just feels accomplished. You know, you feel like you've done something. And it's much better ingredients than whatever you're going to find in any of those fucking jarred sauces. Even the $8 Rao's or Michael's of Brooklyn or the Silver Palette. Or those bullshit fucking names. So anyway, that was me. That's me making sauce. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. If you do enjoy, subscribe. Check out my blog at thickandthinfoodblog.wixsite.com/home. And check out my Instagram, which is also Thick and Thin Food Blog, or Thick and Thin, I think it just is. I'll put links somewhere on here. Glad you guys viewed. Thanks. Bye.